Hey angels, how are we doing? I hope we're doing great. So this is another part. This is part 2 of the visa application, visa interview we started discussing. So in this part 2, if you have not watched part 1, please pause this, go and watch part 1, and then you come back to this. And if you have not subscribed, please take a few seconds, subscribe, and then continue watching. And please make sure you give this video a thumbs up, and it will help me come back. This is like a comeback for me. A lot of people want to hear my thoughts on how to go about this, and it's going to help a whole lot of people. This time people want to travel, so even if you're not the one traveling, you've got like a nephew or niece or sibling or cousin or somebody child, friend, relatives that wish to travel to the US. So if they're going by study route, this will help them a whole lot. So send this video to them and encourage them to watch from the beginning to the end, and they will not regret it. Yes, I know data is a huge issue for people from my country, but this is something that will help your future. This is something that could turn things around for you. So if this is your thing, or you feel somebody might need it, please forward this video directly to them. Let them watch it. Or you can share on your platform and tag me, and I will be monitoring or like tracking everybody who has shared my video or tagged me, and I have something to give to the person, because I know if you support what I'm doing, definitely I should be able to support you. But if you don't support what I'm doing and you just see me offline, you say, oh, I see your videos, but you have never liked it, you have never shared it, you have never commented on it, of what use is it you telling me that you see my videos, right? So let's be civil about things we say and do. So what am I talking about in this particular part 2 of the series I've started about obtaining your visa interview without so much hassle? I'm going to be talking about how to fill out your visa application form. If you're coming through the study route, or if you're coming for visit, that is the B1, B2 tourist visa, you need this particular form, DS160. But I'm going to be talking about the study route in this particular part, and I'm going to be dividing it into 2 other parts, right? I'm going to be talking about when you're traveling with family, you have your parents, you want to go and study, you have your children coming with you, or your spouse coming with you. I'm going to be telling you how to fill out the form, and then I'm going to also talk about how to fill out the form when you are going alone, that is individual form. There is no much difference in the two, only that if you're going with a family, there are certain things you need to put in place, and there are certain ways you need to fill out the form. So without further ado, let's go into the video. So if you're filling out the DS160 form, once you start the application, they will give you kind of ID. You see that number? Write it down. Save it on your phone. Save it on your computer. Write it in your diary. Don't lose it. That's what I'm trying to say. Don't lose it, right? So keep it well. That's what I'm trying to say. Keep it in a secure place where you can always get back to it, because anything you're going to be doing will require that ID. That's your application ID to require it. So keep it safe. That's what I'm trying to say. So once you start, you're going to get a password, you're going to get your ID, then you will start the form. It starts with your personal information, your full name, the name you want to be called. If you have is it Telegram or something kind of name? But for us, we don't have such. Just put your name. It's English alphabet. Put it, right? So it's going to ask you your gender. It's going to ask you date of birth. It's going to ask you your passport number. It's going to ask you a whole lot of personal questions. Those things you can fill. I feel worried when people tell me that the agents that fill their form for them did not give them details of what information they need for the interview. It pains me. You're coming to, not that I'm being judgmental now. Evangel, calm down, calm down, calm down. Yeah, I'm not being judgmental, but I feel a certain way when you say you're coming for a graduate study here in America, and somebody is filling out a very simple form for you. DS160 is simple. The only thing you need to do is get your documents ready to fill it out. If you're confused, ask questions. I don't think you need any agent to fill that form for you. Am I sounding so low now? No, let's get it up. So don't use any agent. Or let me not say don't use any agent. That would be too harsh and that would be like commanding you. No, it's your money, it's your time, it's your everything. If you want to use agents, make sure you're following up on that agent. Make sure they're giving you updates every second of the time. Don't wait until they're done and then you are not asking them to tell you what they filled in that form. If it's possible, tell your agent to fill the form with you over Zoom so that you know how they're answering the questions, you know what they are typing in, you know what answers they are giving. If you fill it out with them, it will help you to recall almost everything you're going to be answering in the interview. Because DS160 form, you see that form? It is very important in your interview. Whatever you filled in that form could make or mar your interview. That's the truth. Because if you fill in something else and then you're answering something else in your interview, I don't know if you will get congratulations, your visa has been approved. I don't know if you will get that. So it's very, very important. A lot of people made that mistake. And remember, before you even get into the interview stand or the cubicle, the visa officer must have gone through your DS160 form. Yes. So be careful how you fill that form. People take it as something very trivial. No, it's not. It is as serious as you getting the visa. So that's by the side. So when you're done with your personal information, the next thing they're going to be asking is purpose of the trip, right? Why are you going to the US? And you will say, okay, this is it. They will ask for study, of course. So if you are the one going to study, it's F1 visa. That's what you're applying for. If it's your dependents, maybe your spouse or your children or your child, that is F2. Now they will ask when are you arriving US? Don't say, oh, if I say I'm arriving so date. No, there is a particular date you must put there. And that date has to be within 30 days of your starting your program. Within 30 days that your program will start. That is the date you must put in. Now, don't put in after your program must have started. No. Don't put in like a few days before your program. No. Unless your interview is really very close to the starting date for your program. But it has to be within 1 month because you cannot be in US greater than 1 month before your program starts. You can get your visa within 1 year of your program starting, but you cannot enter the US before 1 month of your program start dates. So if your program is starting, let's say on January 14th, so between December 14th and January 14th, you should be in the US. That's what I'm trying to say. You cannot come into the US for that same program like in November or October or whatever, even if you have your visa approved. So this is the rule. So the date you will put in is within this particular time period. I don't know if it has changed, but this is what it should be. So you Google, check your program start date, check when you should be in the US. So that is the date you will put. You can choose any date within that period. Now they will ask you who is paying for your trip. Paying for this trip, some people confuse it as maybe your tuition. Some people confuse it as your ticket and all that. So take it like the person is going to pay for the trip, your expenses, your tickets, whatever is going to cost you. So if you're paying for your tickets, put your name there. If your father or your mother or an uncle or a friend is paying for it, put their name there. Then they will ask you the number, the address, and all that, and their relationship to you. Then if you are the one, they will also ask you about your tuition by the time you start filling out for F1. That is the applicant, the main applicant, the principal applicant. If you're the one paying for your tuition, or your expenses, your living expenses, your tuition, write your name there. If you got an assistantship, write the name of the school there. Yes. If you got an assistantship, write the name of the school there. If it's your father, write your father's name there. If it's your mother, your auntie, your uncle, write it there. A friend can sponsor you. It's not a bad thing, but it's just that is a little risky, right? But if this friend has been sponsoring a whole lot you're doing to the tune of that amount of money, then there's no problem. You can put their name there, but make sure you have backup of documents that will support that this person has been there for me. This person has supported me all the way. This person has spent so much money on me and all that. And then you put in their relationship with you, and then that is it. So, and there is a part where you will now put in the service number and service fee and all that. Your employment side part of the form is very, very important. Write, oh my God, I don't know how to explain this part. You know, some people don't take this part seriously, but please take it seriously. Your employment and what you do. Right? Your job, your qualification, your job description, and all that. Write it like you're going for a job interview. Yes, write it like you're going for a job interview. Write your position. Write what you do in your office, your day-to-day job or work. Write it clearly so that they will know. For instance, I'm a physician, so I will write it there. Working with Ministry of Health, Saudi Arabia, because I'm using an example when I applied for this particular visa. Working with the Ministry of Saudi Arabia, I was the CMD of my facility at that time. And then what do? I was in charge of supervising vaccination or immunization campaigns. I was in charge of health promotions. I was in charge of health education in schools and communities. I take history of my patients, whether they're chronic disease or acute patients. I examine them properly. I send them for investigation. And then I treat or I refer accordingly. I take care of emergencies. I gave examples of emergencies that I was taking care of. Right? I maintain doctor-patient relationship. I make sure my patients are well activated so that they will be available for their own healthcare management. You know, be intentional about what you're going to put there. Be very intentional. Write something that is convincing and genuine. Write everywhere you have worked. Don't just write that and then you stop. Now, another thing I put in there was my NGO. I'm a founder or a co-founder of an NGO. Look at what we do. Yearly medical mission. Look at how much people we have treated, how much people we have reached during our free medical missions. Look at what my work entails in this organization as a founder or a co-founder. Right? I'm also a co-founder of a company. You mention the name of the company. You mention what you people do. You mention your own inputs in that company. So don't take things for granted. Let me just fill it out. I'm going for school. What are they asking for employment? Please be as sincere as possible. Let me put it that way. Be genuine as you can, but be intentional about whatever you're going to be writing there. It could make you or mar you. So that is it for your DS160. Like I said, I want to recap. Make sure the information you're putting is accurate when it comes to your name, your document number, country of issue, date of expiry, date of issue. Make sure you write the purpose of your trip. You're going to study. So it's F1 you're applying for, right? Make sure you write who is sponsoring that trip. And when you're filling out your the people paying for your tuition, fill out the school if you have assistantship, and write the address of the school. Now, if there's a place they will also ask you where you will be staying when you arrive US, the address you'll be staying when you arrive US. Put down the name of the school. Whether you have assistantship or not, put down the address of the school. Don't go and write your uncle's house. Don't write your auntie's house or your parents' house. Put down the address of the school. So this is it for filling out the DS160 form for individual who is traveling alone. In the next one, this is part 2A. In part 2B, I'm going to be talking about when you're traveling with your family. Okay? Take care. Make sure you share, like, if you can. Comment. Let me get to hear what you have to say. Ask me questions in the comment section. Ask me what you need to do if you're having any confusion. Ask me what documents that are necessary if you're having any confusion. Just ask me anything and I will be ready to either I make it into a video or I answer you directly. So watch out for part 2B, where I'll be talking about those going as a family, how you want to fill out your form. Okay? Take care and see you in part 2B.